I think there are two bits of this. There's the new tariffs of 200% on Australian exports to the US. Now, most of our pharmaceutical exports are actually blood plasma and some vaccine products, mostly from CSL, the really big producer. But it actually has operating plants in the US, so we've still got to wait and see whether that sort of is a bit of an offset for it. The big issue for pharmaceutical makers in Australia is still the issue of the PBS. Now, it's not about the fact that we subsidise our medicines as such, and obviously the Treasurer has said we're not prepared to negotiate on the PBS, but it's about the fact that pharmaceutical companies say it just takes too long to be able to get new drugs registered for the PBS in Australia. So the government's already moving on that, but that's the thing that's creating the real uncertainty for the industry.
And how much impact would these tariffs then have on the pharmaceuticals industry here?
Well, you know, it's still the most substantial export market for Australia. I think it's about 40% of the market. It's about $2 billion of exports each year. So it is substantial, but I think at the moment it's more of a concern about how much uncertainty is created for new investment in Australia by those issues around the pharmaceutical benefits scheme. So, you know, the industry doesn't seem to be as worried about that 200% tariff and the likelihood it will actually be imposed on us.
Okay. There's also been a tariff threat from Donald Trump against copper. How would that affect us here?
Well, this is interesting. Pharmaceuticals, Donald Trump said he'll give everybody a year to move to the US, and since, as we said, CSL's already there, that's a reason for comfort. Copper is a more immediate threat, and I think it's a mixed story for Australia because Rio, which is one of the Rio and BHP are the two companies who produce copper. One of them is currently looking at trying to open a copper mine in the US. It's not a huge effect. We don't sell a lot of copper to America, but it's the knock-on effects of Rio and BHP from their other operations in places like Chile, which may have some effect at the margin.